Hi guys, so I'm watching this video by a very popular YouTuber named Bruce Rivers. He's a criminal lawyer, so he's an expert in this kind of stuff. And he's talking about the Diddy case. And, he's expressing what I think is, or I should say, are some of my own concerns about all of these lawsuits that have been filed especially by this high profile Texas lawyer named Tony Buzbee. Tony Buzbee has filed, like, he says he has over 120 victims, and he has filed many lawsuits, some of which were dismissed, and he had to refile them for technical reasons. And so basically, Busby is threatening to out a whole bunch of celebrities if they don't pay up immediately, whether they did anything wrong or not, in the sense of whether they actually participated in assaulting anyone. As long as they were photographed at one of Diddy's parties, Busby is basically, it seems to me anyway, saying that we have somebody who has pictured you there. They're saying that you were present, you were a bystander, you did nothing, yada yada. And so pay up or we're going to file lawsuits against you. And so now Busby himself is starting to be scrutinized for these aggressive legal tactics, right? Now, some people view his actions as advocacy for these alleged victims. However, other people, like Bruce Rivers, in this guy here, have raised concerns about the potential for ethical and legal boundaries to be crossed by Mr. Busby. And Rivers has even likened Bruce Busby's conduct to that of Michael Avenatti, the disgraced attorney serving a federal prison sentence for extortion. If you remember, Avenatti was Stormy Daniels' attorney at one point, and if you remember, Stormy Daniels accused President Trump of paying her hush money to hide their illicit affair when he was running for president in 2016. So Avenatti was her lawyer. Of course, she and Avenatti had a falling out, but then Avenatti tried to shake down Nike in a totally separate case, and he is now serving time for extortion in a federal prison. So, um, Bruce Rivers is basically saying that this guy in Texas, Buzbee, who is filing all these lawsuits, better be careful that he's not the next Michael Avenatti. The primary concern seems to center on whether Busby's tactics could constitute coercion or extortion under the law, right? So, extortion occurs when someone seeks to obtain money or something of value through threats, intimidation, or coercive means. Critics argue that Busby's alleged approach of targeting celebrities who attended Diddy's parties, regardless of their level of involvement, raises questions about his motives, right? If Busby pressures or publicly names individuals without solid evidence of wrongdoing to prompt settlements, this could be interpreted as an attempt to extract money through reputational threats rather than legal merit, right? Um, Bruce Rivers has highlighted this concern, right? And he is warning that Busby risks overstepping into territory that could backfire legally. A parallel is drawn to Avenatti, who was convicted of attempting to extort Nike by demanding millions in exchange for not publicizing damaging allegations. While Busby's actions may not rise to that level, the perception that he's running a shakedown operation could lead to legal trouble, especially if any parties claim they were coerced into settlements or unfairly implicated. So if any of these celebrities who have already paid Buzbee or paid these victims turns around, gets a lawyer, and says, wait a second, moment of clarity here. This is a shakedown. You just extorted me. I did nothing wrong. I want my money back. You know, this could be legal trouble for Buzbee. It could be as simple as just paying the money back, but it could be as complicated as where Michael Avenatti found himself in a federal prison. So Busby's handling of such a large number of cases is also an issue, 120 cases and rising. I mean, he put out a 1-800 number to encourage, people. Over 3,000 people responded claiming Diddy did something to them. He only selected 120. But this also raises ethical questions about diligence and individual representation, right? The American Bar Association requires lawyers to pursue claims based on merit and prohibits using the legal system to harass or burden others. Again, lawfare. It's against the law, right? Now, ultimately, if Buzbee is found to be leveraging these lawsuits primarily for financial gain, or notoriety without evidence, just getting his name out there to get more clients, maybe more legitimate clients in some cases, so if he's found to be doing that without evidence to substantiate these claims, he could face sanctions, civil suits, or even criminal charges, right? His high profile approach, and all these media appearances may attract attention, but it does also invite scrutiny from courts and legal watchdogs like this guy, Bruce Rivers over here, right? So, yeah, that's it for this one, you guys. Tony Buzbee needs to be careful about his tactics. It seems even to me, and I'm not an expert on any of this at all, but it seems to me that he's overzealous with this, and it just seems like lawfare, really. It seems like, you know, he knows most of these cases are bogus, but he's trying to make Diddy Combs feel terrified and, overwhelmed as he sits behind bars, unable to really do much to defend himself. He can't even call any of these people if he happens to know some of them to say, hey, what are you talking about? That's not true. You know that's not true. You know that's not true. We did hang out. We did do whatever we did, but that, we were two adults and it was all cool. If that indeed is the case. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I can imagine that in some of these cases, they were all having a good time and suddenly, things change.